All right. Welcome, everyone, to the first speed pitch session at the NDM. We're excited to be here with you. My name's Aaron Buckley. I'm from the policy team at UNMAS in New York, and I'm here with my colleague from GICHD, Boris.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Boris Wanyan. I'm a Program Officer of Research and Innovation at the Geneva International Center for Humanitarian Demining.
And so the next hour and 15 minutes is dedicated to a select number of presentations on new technologies and innovative tools. And we want to keep it dynamic. So here are the ground rules, okay? As you know, each presentation is going to be 8 minutes. And so you'll have 8 minutes to pitch your ideas. And I'll remind you that we are in Switzerland, which is famous for its timely trains and its watchmaking. And so Boris and I will help us all respect these traditions. And after 7 minutes, we'll give you a little indication that there's 1 minute remaining, and then the presenters can wrap up, and we'll invite the audience to give a round of applause, and then we'll move on to the next one. Also, just to say, unless there's any objections, we're going to put the PowerPoints up so they're available via a QR code. So that can be a nice reference for us all. All right, so let's dive in. To kick us off is our first presentation by Norwegian People's Aid and Fenix Insight. And they're going to give us some insight into the transformative potential of open source data and how it can support smarter, faster decision-making and mine action. So NPA and Fenix Insight are exploring how innovative digital tools can connect open source intelligence with mine action activities. And their work demonstrates how public data streams can be transformed into practical insights, helping organizations enhance situational awareness and support key interventions on the ground. So with that, please welcome Rafaela Lark and Colin Bent. Over to you guys. Thanks.
Hi. So I'm going to present about Metis, the open source intelligence system from Fenix Insight, and Colin will follow later with how NPA are currently using Metis data in their operations. So as I said, Metis is an open source intelligence system that was developed by Fenix Insight. It captures information on the use of munitions, platforms, chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear threats. So, for example, if a farmer finds a mine in a field, or if a missile or a rocket falls on a city, we will record that. But also if there are reports of chemical agents being used, we will investigate and report that. So far we have 400,000 recorded events across the globe, and our analysts are continuously adding data. So for an event to be added to our system, it must have a date. When did it happen? Where did it happen? What happened? And that will always be linked to a source URL. So you can always track back to where did we find that information. Whenever relevant, our subject matter experts will analyze that event and add analysis on what type of item was used. And that will be linked to our technical database, which has more than 6,000 records on munitions, platforms, and CBRN threats. These records have information on technical specifications, alternate designations, mechanisms of deployment and initiation, any similar systems and deployment systems, as well as proliferation details. So where was that munition manufactured, but most importantly, which countries can you find that munition in? So that's a very brief overview of what kind of data you can find in Metis. But I just want to go briefly over how we add that data and how we make sure that that data is of good quality. So we ingest a lot of different results from different APIs, so messaging apps such as Telegram, but also social media, so Blue Sky, Twitter, VK, YouTube. newspapers, both international and local, and curated data sets such as ACLED, CSAC, SATP. We collect this data not only in English, but also in French, Spanish, Arabic, Russian, etc. So all these results get put into the system, and then our customized AI tools pre-categorize those results to identify the text, the location, the categories, the designation, date, source, and language. And then those pre-categorized results are analyzed by our subject matter experts, but that means they can focus on what's most important. They will do further analysis on the location and the dates, as well as triangulate the different sources to make sure that the information is correct. They will also identify from image or text which munition or platform was used. Throughout this whole system, we obviously have quality management systems in place, and all of this, at the end, the user sees 400,000 mapped events linked to 6,000 munitions, platforms, and CBRN records, and they can query this with keywords and other timelines, maps, etc.
Yeah, so NPA has been a subscriber to Fenix's services for a few years now, mostly using their platform as a technical reference tool via its web-based UI. And that provides us with a lot of technically detailed analysis of explosive ordnance events, especially in key contexts where NPA is working. And Fenix Insight is also very good at delivering, uploading, and analyzing this data in a very timely and efficient manner, often within 48 hours. You can compare that to ACLED, which takes about 1 week to 10 days to upload their event data. But the challenge has been for us is that the data, as long as it resides on the Fenix platform, is only so useful to us. We have to, so we pitched to Fenix the idea of trying to integrate it better into NPA's existing information management system, and the idea was to do that via API. So what is an API and why is it useful? An API is an application programming interface, which is a set of rules and protocols that allow different software applications to communicate with each other. In this case, we are using the Metis platform, which has all of our data, and we're using NPA's IMS to request that data and bring it into the system. And we're able to do that through a tool called ArcGIS Notebook Server, which you can put we put our Python code on there, which can run automatically. There's some clear advantages to this. We can have an automated system that takes in their data and without any human intervention on a regular basis. Right now it's updating every 15 minutes. We're able to have complete interoperability, so we're able to take that data and instantly bring it into our existing IM tools that within any kind of program, and we're also able to build custom tools within our ArcGIS ecosystem to meet specific needs of our programs. And these needs might be for explosive ordnance risk education. We're able to use this data about explosive ordnance events to inform EORA program design, safety messages, CPP, targeting, prioritization. We're able to use it for NTS, for EO identification, location, categorization, as part of our desktop analysis. And we're able to use it for clearance and land release, providing operations staff with key technical information and informing targeting and prioritization of operations. So just a quick look at what this could look like. One specific tool designed for the NPA Syria program. We're able to take this data and instantly kind of map it onto a dashboard, which can show everything from the number of incidents confirmed by Fenix analysis, the EO identified, sort and see this data at a glance, and overlay it with NPA collected EO data from survey and clearance. And this allows us to customize and create tools that are specific to our programs And we're limited really only by our imagination at that point and the data that we have at hand, which through Fenix is quite a bit more robust than it would be without Fenix. Thanks. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for timekeeping and that interesting offering, that interesting look at how open source intelligence can transform information management, URE, conflict preparedness and protection, and land release operations. We thank you very much, and I'd like maybe to invite our next speakers. We now turn our focus on another exciting innovation, which is virtual reality in mine action training. Virtual reality offers a powerful tool to help train both humanitarian personnel and the public about the dangers of landmines and how to respond safely when encountering them. In this next presentation, CIFAL York and York University will introduce the LandminesAware VR application. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Asghari to present this groundbreaking VR application, demonstrating how emerging technologies can make mine action training more engaging and accessible. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. It's a great pleasure to be here with you and also presenting an ongoing research we are doing in developing a virtual reality application for training of civilians and humanitarian personnel. And this is, of course, a collaboration between several groups, and I have a pleasure to work with Mr. Shahab Moini, who is also here from the expertise he has on landmine and demining and so forth. So basically, the idea behind this application is to develop an application that I'm sure many of you are aware how virtual reality works. It is, especially in these kind of cases, my background is in disaster and emergency management. I found it really difficult to train students and even professional practitioners on cases like disaster, high-risk objects, etc. And using virtual reality in different forms and ways can help us to basically mimic the real world situations in with, of course, a safe environment where we can do similar practices. It wasn't as easy in the past, but with the emerging of new technologies, new devices, it has become more affordable, easier and better in terms of quality and usefulness of virtual reality. It is now being used in many other fields, especially in health. Also, we are involved in developing applications in healthcare that are quite impressive, in fact. But there are some areas like demining and this kind of a humanitarian-based education that resources are limited. Not many people are interested necessarily in investing in it. So we are looking at it more from humanitarian and university-based research to develop this app and make it available. And the idea is to basically build this application such that users can learn about different types of landmines. They can learn about the key components of landmines and also learn about different explosion types and impacts of landmines. So there are some learning objectives behind this, and we have tried to make it just like a robust training model. We haven't finished the application. We are in the prototype stage where we are building all the components, but the application will be ready by end of May almost. And if anyone is interested in working with us in testing or pre-testing the application, we would be happy to share with you the app and instruction for how to use it. And so in terms of different types of landmines, user would be able to explore the landmines, understand their characteristics, and also be able to identify when they see it. This learning and this application helps them to be able to, once they see it, they're able to identify it. and test their learning, because we have put some tests and quizzes and also interactive activities there that they can practice this and also test their learning and knowledge. And we also go into selected landmines to help learners better understand, for example, different triggering mechanisms that are used in landmines, or in terms of their functions, in terms of their deployment methods, to also give more details about how these devices work, basically. We are not going to do it in this first version of the application for all types of landmines, but we have picked several common types that they can cover these elements so that we can help them. And these are fine details so that you can actually unpack a landmine and see some of these functionalities. So we also make this so that users can actually experiment and visualize the mechanisms or the impacts of landmines when they are exploded and they triggered on human, on vehicles, on animals, and on the environment, because this is also, as we said, this is a safe environment to visual, although there are considerations for how to visualize it, but still this visualization is important. This is also following the mechanics and physics of explosion, so it's quite realistic when you see it. It is coming with sounds, with visual impacts, with shock waves, etc., and also the particles that are exploded when you see this. We also have a segment of the application that focuses on identification of landmines, indicators, where we use different terrains for like forests, like deserts, like urban areas, so that users can identify the presence of landmines based on the indicators that they see on their one. Again, they wear the glass, they go into the typical environment, and this is, again, we have one part that is training part, another part is practice and testing time. And after that, of course, is what to do in case you encounter a situation like this. We use standard approaches into what can a humanitarian personnel or a general public, when they encounter what to do, basically, in terms of emergency response, in terms of handling the situation. So we again, incorporated some elements of this through this visual environment. As if they are in a landmine or landfill environment, and someone impacted, or they see signs, now they have to follow and do some protocols. So these are all incorporated in this VR application. And as I said, we are currently in the prototype stage. The prototype is ready. We would like to also have some of the experts here to help us in viewing and using and looking into the prototype, so that if they have any comments, we can improve that, enhance that, and consider that in the next step. And we are also open for collaboration. If there is any interest in collaborating with us, we are really open and welcome. My time-wise, okay?
Yeah, very, very great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing this exciting developments with VR applications. And on the topic of improving tools and approaches, I'd like to turn our focus on crucial role of Ordnance Identification Guide. Today's case study will highlight how an ammunition identification guide, available in Ukrainian and English, has been adapted and expanded to become one comprehensive guide for Ukraine. To explore these insights further, please welcome Mrs. Elzara Muzaffarova and Mr. Drew Prater from Bomb Techs Without Borders. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Should I?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. We're presenting Bomb Techs Without Borders, and here to talk about the basic identification of ammunition in Ukraine guide. My name is Elzara Muzaffarova. Ukrainian branch deputy director. And let me tell you a bit about our Ukrainian branch, and then my colleague Drew Prater will tell you about the ID guide itself. So, Bomb Techs Without Borders is a non-profit organization founded in 2018, mainly staffed by volunteers. We provide trainings and technical advisement to soldiers and first responders. We facilitate equipment donations, and we produce digital products to promote safety. So at the first days of the full-scale invasion, there was only our American volunteer and our partners from National Police EOD Department working together to clear explosive hazards around the Kiev. And we didn't have much resources at that time, so our linguist team started from one person, now there are 4 of us. And we're not professional linguists in this specific field, but after 2.5 years of dense work, I can say we have an experience we can be proud of. And one of our main challenges is to find correct terms. So after joining the B2OP team, we started learning not only Ukrainian EOD terminology, but also English one. We also translate course classes for EOD techs and common soldiers, and that's where we get the context and the meaning for our ID guide. Because of so quick expansion of Ukrainian EOD now, sometimes there is no even exact term for something new or foreign. So we start from consulting and discussions with our partners from different services, and we like to find that, right term, correct term. So the process itself can take a lot of time, mixing that's consulting and offline and online research. So Western EOD have been never experienced and work in such environment with such a big variety of ammunition. And our Ukrainian EOD now has a huge experience, and they need somehow to communicate between them and international community. So I can say our experience as a linguist team is quite unique now. And as the partnership between Ukraine and other countries grows, it can be really useful. And passing to my colleague.
Hello, I'm Drew Prater. Been in the EOD and humanitarian mine action career field for over 30 years, typically doing clearance as well as training in various different countries throughout the world. So our basic identification of ammunition in Ukraine guide, it's published in coordination and cooperation with our Ukrainian partners. We are partnered with the National Police EOD, 8th SF Regiment EOD, SESU, State Emergency Services, and we also receive information from a lot of individual sappers and deminers that are actively working in the field. We confirmed that everything in the guide has actually been seen and used in Ukraine. There's all sorts of people doing Twitters and tweets and all sorts of social media saying, oh, this has been found, when actually it's either very old or it's not been found at all. So we go to great lengths to make sure it's actual in Ukraine. It's designed to assist the sappers and EOD and deminers and first responders as they're doing their duties and come across ordnance. So it's a readily available point for them to access and gain information on it. It's been featured twice in the Journal of Conventional Weapons Destruction, volumes 27 and 28, both issue 3. And our first version was in early 22, and it started with 274 munitions. We're working on version 8, which should be done in the next month or two, and it's going to have over 800 munitions listed. We partnered with Bullet Picker. If you've not heard of them, it's a great resource. Again, all open source, no firewalls or anything to gain access to it, and that's where you can also find all of our digital products. So this is an example of one of the pages. We'll have multiple entries per page typically, usually multiple photos so you can get different views of the item, and then we'll have detailed information such as nomenclature, country of origin, specifics, physical specifics like the size, weight, dimensions. Then we'll have a note if there's any pertinent information you need to know right away. We've also started off with pictures having different color borders, and depending on the color is what that particular hazard was. But we since found it wasn't very intuitive, and especially across different languages. So we've gone to the hazard symbols that you can see there. So all of these particular mines have, you see the clock, it has a time delay hazard, has a cock striker, and then also has a booby trap hazard. If you click on one of the photos, the page in the middle is what you'd see. It's a high resolution photo, allows you to zoom in to different aspects of the munition so you can make sure you're identifying the correct one. When you're done, you click the link at the bottom, takes you back to the main page that you were on. Once you're done with that page, you can click the link at the bottom of that, takes you right back to the table of contents. Originally, it was published in Ukrainian only. That was our focus, do it for the Ukrainian people. That was the first two versions. By version 3, we'd succumb to the pressure that we needed to have English. So we've painstakingly gone through, and both guides are exactly mirror images. So if you're working with Ukrainian and English speakers, you can put the guides next to each other. It's the same information, same format. So you can easily compare the two. And that's an example up there. Oh, I'm screwing up, sorry. And that is our presentation. We hope you will go to the BTWAB's website and Bullet Picker and check it out. Again, this is completely free for everybody. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Ms. Muzafarova and Mr. Prater, for this presentation on identification guides. Next, we turn on to the topic of robotics in mine action. The use of unmanned ground vehicles in mine clearance, land release is gaining traction as a means to improve safety, efficiency, and cost effectiveness. Today's speaker, Mr. Stephen Meek, from Inert Products LLC, will introduce the Arbot UGV, which has already been successfully deployed in Ukraine. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Stephen Meek to tell us more about the Arbot and its potential to support global demining efforts.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging in here. I know it's been a long day for everybody. Everybody's going through jet lag, so thanks for sticking in here for us today. This one's here? Yeah? Okay, great. So today I'm here to talk to everybody about our Arbot UGV, which stands for Unmanned Ground Vehicle. The UGV, the Arbot UGV was originally conceived in 2017 by some of the top robotics professors in the United States, in particular Villanova University, if anybody's familiar. And they worked very closely with teams, EOD teams in Cambodia and Southeast Asia, doing a lot of testing for the robot. So it's a great product. And today, let me just see here, the Arbot, I'll just read off here. So it's an affordable, easy-to-operate demining solution, currently saving lives in Ukraine. It's designed for easy maintenance and crucial for clearing hazardous areas where traditional demining machines cannot operate. Here, as you can see in the picture, it does have the, sorry. There we go, that's a lot better. So as you can see here, this is the Arbot UGV. Currently in this photo here is mounted with a CTS Lance disruptor out of Canada. We also have it able to be adapted to a ChemRing disruptor as well. And we have a great engineering team in the United States, so for integrating other tools and disruptors, we can simply make that happen for end users and demining agencies in Ukraine in particular. Okay, great, and I'll jump to the next one here. So I'll just go over some of the Arbot's key features. So it is a user-friendly UGV. When it was originally designed, that was one of the main focuses, where somebody can essentially grab the controller, and operate the UGV within 5 to 10 minutes. It is easy to maintain and repair, and it works with a variety of disruptors, as I already mentioned. And I'll just digress a bit. So also in the conception and initial design of the RBOT UGV, it was extremely important for us to have maintenance and repair. So a lot of the parts that you see in this picture here, we do offer spare part kits for the robot itself. But with Ukraine in mind, with these type of vehicles, UGVs on the front line where things break down, things malfunction, it was very important for us to design the robot where it could be easily repaired on the field in the front lines and put right back into action. We've heard a lot of reports from the beginning of the conflict that a lot of the robots that were donated to Ukraine, about 40 to 50% are not in operation due to the fact that they cannot receive spare parts, maintenance. So that was very important for us when designing the RBOT. I'll just go over some real-world success in Ukraine as well. So we do currently have 9 units with the NPU. We're getting a lot of reports and feedback from the end users in Ukraine. We're working with a lot of their technicians, doing upgrades for the RBOT itself. Some of the feedback we've been receiving from Ukraine directly is it's primarily being used in open fields in rural areas. So if they identify a downed drone, the payload is unpredictable. They don't maybe not have a lot of information on the downed drone itself. This RBOT can easily has a very good tow capability, so it could pull down drones out of wooded areas, fields, essentially saving the operator the hassle of going and dragging it out themselves. Also, booby traps is a big thing where we wanted to have the RBOT really succeed and excel. So we do have some video feedback. I was hoping to share that with you today, but with the limited time. But yeah, we have some great video of the RBOT disabling booby-trapped landmines. So that was very important for us to have that capability. Sorry, I already went over the last one there, recovering down suicide drones. All right, great. So I'll jump to the next slide here. Okay, good. And I know I just went over some of the main features of the RBOT UGV itself. But being here at this Demining conference, we did want to speak on partnership and collaboration. So how can we work together? So we do offer volume pricing for sponsors and stakeholders. When we designed the RBOT, we wanted to make sure it was extremely affordable. If anybody's curious, it's about 1/3 of the price of some of the brand name robots that are out there doing demining operations. Essentially, we have a training program, spare parts kit, and the RBOT itself makes it very affordable to be delivered anywhere in the world. And we currently have a manufacturing capability where we're able to do up to 50 units every 90 days. So we do have a program that we offer where we can dedicate a special manufacturing lane at our facility. If anybody's interested in large volume for the UGV, we are capable to do up to 50 units every 90 days, which is quite impressive. Logistics directly into Ukraine. So for anybody that's been delivering products into Ukraine itself, there's lots of routes to get goods and services into Ukraine, but we do have that pretty well down pat, so we can get our RBOTs delivered directly into Kyiv or anywhere in Ukraine without any issues. Another thing I'd like to bring up as well is we do have a donation program for certain NGOs and humanitarian agencies where our company will actually donate RBOTs that are going to Ukraine for humanitarian efforts. So if you have any questions about that or if you'd like to know about our donation program, feel free to reach me after the session, and I'd be happy to explain that to you. And also, finally, I'll just go over some of the RBOT's tech that's built in. To keep the price point down on the UGV, there's frankly not a lot of tech built into the RBOT. It can handle, like I mentioned, down drones, booby traps, landmines, things of that nature. But we are open to partnerships and collaborations. Within the next calendar year, we do plan to have Starlink integrated into all the RBOTs. We'll also have CBRN and chemical warfare detection, which was quite easy for us to integrate. And we are open to any sort of collaborations. If you're a manufacturer with different types of tech, please speak to us. We'd love to integrate other products into our RBOT as well. And finally, the RBOT is a game changer in humanitarian demining, so let's make Ukraine safer together. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, and I hope you'll be able to build partnerships and collaborations around the RBOT. Thank you very much for your presentation. Next, we'll shift focus on the vital role of demining technologies in Ukraine. Our next speaker, Mr. Serhiy Krivahus, will introduce the Ukrainian demining machine. This advanced technology is capable of clearing large areas of contaminated land efficiently and safely, showcasing the technical precision essential in neutralizing explosive threats. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Serhiy Krivahus to present more about these practical solutions that advance both security and sustainable development. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Thanks for today. It was a great opportunity to me. Okay, yeah, this was I need to do. So the mechanized demining in Ukraine, we had a lot of things. We're a young company, but we did a lot. For this time, we understand that our possibilities in Ukraine are very open, and we are focused on the agricultural demining. And the main thing that we understand that for a total in 2024, in a total we had a survey from the non-technical survey around 5,500 hectares, and carried out around 1,630 hectares, and the current pass with the only working that we are doing around 20 hectares per day with the 256 people of deminers. We understand the completely demining of Ukraine as we are working, it will be around 1,500 years. What we can do, I think, the main thing what we need to think today is to collaborate and to do together things that can be shared with the other in order to understand the reality of the fastest opportunities to demine the Ukrainian fields, and not only the Ukrainian fields. We want to do the first national demining demonstration event in Ukraine, where we could collaborate with everyone in this sphere to understand the complete operational cost, effectiveness, and involve the new technologies during this. So we done a new machinery that was based on the Boženas this year, and we understand that we have a lot of different ideas, but we need your also informational things. We invite you to join the observers, but not as those who can see it, but as partners who can involve with us those technologies that we have and we done. We want to co-found, and one of the idea that we trying to represent is the collaboration that we think that is necessary to do the devolution of the funds to the territory and the villages in Ukraine. So the main thing is the beneficiaries of this idea could be different. The state forest resources agencies of Ukraine. So the main thing is to do the demining directly with this in these fields, in the forest and others. The scopes, you can see the timeline also around 2 years. The budget is around 60 million that need Ukraine, but we won't do it alone. We need cooperate and to co-found. The next is water areas that we understand there are a lot of things to do, and we have a different deep mines. We have a different new technologies that can do it, but also we can understand that do the devolution. We can go not through the central parts, but we can co-found with the state agencies of water recovery of Ukraine. We could do a different opportunities. Then also the demining of agricultural fields we can do in a different way. There are a lot of stakeholders in Ukraine that do different opportunities, but we need to cooperate in it. So my first thing is not to be diversified, but be more collaborated in all of these things that we are doing in Ukraine. One of the scopes, I said that devolution is a great thing. We don't need a lot of money, as we said, but we need it. Please, the next step is during the last year we had opportunity to meet here in this other place in Geneva, and we had a plan that we were presented it 2 topics. The first topic was the machinery that we done. You will show it, you will see it, and the next topic was the International Demining Academy. We also represented it. We done it for 1 year. Thanks to our co-founders and the people who will represent the next after me, we done it due to the meetings here in Geneva, and thanks for you for this. During this time, we understand that the trainings, we need more trainings and the operators. The most things is we don't need the millions and the millions. We need the priorities, sharing the priorities. Together, I think we can be more unstoppable. Together, we can make humanitarian demining faster. And I will be short. Let peace be with you. This is the condition in what we work now. This is today. This is today. On the other side, in the summer, it was in the summer. So the conditions are different in Ukraine. So, but we are not stoppable, and numbers are not they are not going less. They are increasing. And this is the Germina, the Ukrainian machine that is done in Ukraine. We worked on this around 8 months. We do representations of them in Ukraine. We are open to do it together. And if you have any idea to do any devices to put on this, to detect something, we are open to do it. We are going to collaborate. Thank you. This is my numbers, and I have a video if we
it's
could.
Without the sound, though.
Yeah, it's without the sound, because you will see that how it's working, the real machinery in Ukraine in the agricultural fields. I'm sorry, without the music, I need to put something interesting. The main thing is in the end, because you will see the directly. No, it's good. Yeah. This is how it works. We understand how to do the demining more easily. It's the agricultural field in the Mykolaiv region. And you understand now that the shit happens in the end. Sorry. Some minutes. I think it's in the ending. Yeah, now it will be. We try to understand how to manage, but it totally destroyed. This is it. So I believe that it won't be happen, but it's good that people are in safe. Thank you. Have a nice day, and let be peace with you.
Thank you very much. So the last presentation of this event will focus on the intersection of, on the intersection of technical expertise and community-driven solutions in the form of reparative cartography. Our final speaker, Mrs. Catherine Hamill, Professor of Architecture at the University of Calgary, will introduce the groundbreaking work on reparative cartography. Please join me in welcoming her to share more about the project and its potential to bring about meaningful change.
Thank you, and hello everyone. I'll be quick. I know it's the last session. As was introduced, the proposal submitted for this session is under the theme of reparative cartography, so taking technology a little bit in a slightly different angle. And it is a collaboration with the building on the precision of the technical with the opportunities that arise from a more open design process and the potential application to landmine impacted communities and rehabilitation rather than just demining. And it represents an alliance, and my colleagues are here with me, so I hope afterwards you can speak with them because with the time there's a lot more to elaborate on. Shahab Moweni, which we heard about before from SubSphere Corporation, is here. Also, we have from the Congress of Internationally Displaced Person Council, Yana Yubimova, who's right, I think I can't see her, she was right here. And the International Humanitarian Demining Academy that was spoken about, we have Yana Koshkupova right here and Sofia Pivtorak. And I'm from the University of Calgary in the architecture program in Canada. Continuing with the theme of innovation and technology, of course, a direct link is SubSphere's work, and Shahab would be a much better person to talk to more elaborately afterwards. And it specializes in detecting and classifying surface and subsurface objects by utilizing a combination of artificial intelligence, drone-based systems, robotics, and remote sensing technology to enhance demining efforts. And there is an open source component also, no time to get into in terms of that access. A crucial aspect of this initiative is the establishment of networks of strategic partnerships. And Shahab plays an important role in bringing this work with and as part of the academy, as they address one of the pressing challenges, which is validating the effectiveness and safety of these new technologies in diverse field conditions. Supporting this validation, the work combines research development and training efforts in both landmine detection and neutralization. So I hope you will reach out to them after to learn more about that. There's also, in addition to the demining, a challenge which is characterized by both, as we saw, slow and costly processes, where the capacity to drop and spread mines and other devices surpasses the capacity to neutralize them. The threat and impact to civilians, particularly children, farmers, and displaced populations due to the extensive volume of contaminated land is very significant. So here I'll do an abrupt shift and a bit in terms of going back to the mapping component of the proposal and the application of incorporating design. And here I speak of it as understood as consideration rather than how it often is mistaken as being a part of aesthetics. Oops, it's not changing. Okay. A part of aesthetics and working with trauma-informed practices to foster interaction with impacted communities to promote awareness and actionable responses. So it doesn't always take a lot. Sometimes it takes a very slight shift to change an outcome. And technology in this process is not effaced. The modification is not so much about innovation, rather than the attitude in which it is applied when diverse elements meet, and how current technology can facilitate that. So both as a tool for gathering, data gathering, and there's a lot of that we've seen, for communication, for production, and for analysis. So we have technology, both real and virtual, artificial and synthetic, through machine learning, and importantly, not excluding the human experience. Of course, this does not happen all at once, but involves selection in response to specific contexts and objectives. So one of the important things from the work here is working with those most affected and getting that. So there are a number of combinations of this work that has happened. I like to call them productive collisions. And it's been applied to date with a range of mapping workshops with communities, and then working from that, including resettling refugees from Ukraine in Canada, individuals in terms of post-recovery addiction, and youth with disabilities. So the collaborative Maps of Curiosity, which is the name given to the process to date, employs a range of mapping and visualization techniques, from defined to experiential, where multiple scales of awareness through different layers are considered. So the experiential mapping component happens with communities, and we produce extremely large pieces, and it builds on work in conflict transformation, the arts, and resilience. And being in Switzerland, we mentioned the European Graduate School that has a stream in the expressive art, conflict transformation, and peace building. And part of this work is growing that in terms of trauma-informed practices and what principles are open to work in the field towards broader social outcomes and concerns. The process is very layered. So a key final step involves producing hybrid maps that merge precision with expression. This enables the analysis of not geographical location, but also the experiences and impact associated with them. Hybrid drawings integrate traditional drawing techniques with more digital elements and processes and technology, and this method bridges information, incorporating a diverse range of data and perspectives. So the technology plays a crucial role in moving beyond expression or aesthetics or just location towards practical applications. And this is especially true when involving individuals that are trained in these techniques, which in the design fields we do in planning and architecture, whether it's using the right programs, script writing capabilities, or collaborating with programmers for the analysis. So we've been hearing a lot about collaboration, and this is another group that I think probably already gets used in some of the groups we've seen. So the work began with community outreach as a tool for city design and looking at policies. And we're progressing towards applications for assessing the impact of landmines and living around them, with plans to conduct a pilot project, maybe with the IDPC, the Internally Displaced Peoples Council. And this step would be valuable in refining the methodology to gather essential data before scaling up our efforts. Another example, I was just saw it a few days ago, UN Habitat is looking for submissions for urban planning code concepts for Ukraine, with specific emphasis on stakeholder consultation. Doesn't want to change, it's okay. So from landmine location to implication, visualization, which is a thinking tool for designers and not just representation, and social stewardship align closely with a human-centered approach being cultivated by the Academy. It's an opportunity to make relevant impact through technology and collaboration, inviting aloof alliances to cooperate and maybe step aside from the business model that's very predictive based on past data as magic formulations as opposed to stepping stones. So maybe to finish, I think I'm at my 8 minutes, I'll appropriate Julian Barnes when he's in his book, he says Levels of Life. You put together two things that have not been together before, and the world is changed. People may not notice at the time, but that doesn't matter. The world has been changed nonetheless. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful, and we kept on time, which means that we still have some minutes left. So what I'd like to do is, first we'll do a final warm round of applause for all the presenters. Thanks for bringing such interesting, ideas and some new tools that perhaps can continue to be integrated into the sector's toolbox. And just to say that innovation isn't only about technological solutions, it's also about fostering a mindset and culture that encourages creativity, curiosity, and continuous learning. So that's what we're trying to do also here today. So we have a few, we have about just about 30 minutes. I'd like to ask the presenters, if you wouldn't mind standing up and maybe spreading out in front of the room, and then we can have some interaction with the audience too. So please stick around. We'll have like a mini networking now. And then afterwards we have the reception, so everyone's obviously invited there too. Thank you very much, everyone.